Can you believe this cloth doll, all sealed with tape, is a dog? The dog's limbs are tightly bound with tape, and its whole body has been strung like purple, and kept making painful wails in its mouth, as if saying, help me. What did the dog do wrong to be treated like this? From the crowd we learned that, just now an 8-year-old girl covered the dog's body with tape, and then kicked it into the stinky ditch. The parent next to her not only didn't stop her, but let the child do whatever he wanted. According to the report of the masses, the rescue brother hurried to the scene. The scene in front of him stunned the little brother. A dog sealed with tape, in the high temperature of 30 or 40 degrees, was screaming miserably in the stinky ditch. The little brother carefully lifted the dog's head, the dog's legs. Not only had its flesh and skin been torn off, but also covered with mucus in its mouth. The man has been rescuing for decades. He had never encountered such a crazy person. The tape had been exposed to the sun for hours. Every time a piece was torn off, the dog would make a painful cry. If at this time, if the dog's mother knew its own child was suffering so much, what kind of mood would she be in? At this time, the dog's limbs became very stiff. Its nose were covered with many unknown liquids. The man can only carefully, slowly to untie the tape, because of the stickiness in the tape, after being exposed to the sun, has glued the dog's fur together. If you pull it hard, it will tear off the dog's flesh and skin. If it's a few minutes later, it would die painfully due to blood blockage. The dog's tongue has become hard and purple. Fortunately, the man quickly removed the tape from its mouth. The dog finally took a long breath, but the man still didn't dare to relax, and continued to patiently help the dog to clean up the remaining tape. The dog seemed to know someone was saving it. It was obedient like a child, and didn't move. A large amount of mud passed through the tape, penetrated under the stuck flesh. The dog saw hope, and was strong without a word, and very cooperative. It had just come to this world, desperately wanted to survive. This is the most cruel scene the little brother has ever seen. Although the dog can't speak, the wailing coming from its mouth seemed to be constant lie, saying to the little brother, saying thanks. While the little brother was cleaning, the dog also used all its strength, shaking its body constantly. It can be clearly seen that the fur on the dog's stomach has been stuck and swollen. At this time, the dog's mind kept flashing in his mind pictures of being abused by humans. This is a lifetime that he can't forget in his life. Wolves are babies. Why can't they be more kind? Although the dog's story is very uncomfortable, but it struggled hard. He still didn't want to give up. The tape was tied into a knot, which is hard to clean. Even so, the man didn't use any tools for areas that were really hard to pick. He used his nails for fear of hurting it. He cut off the dog's flesh and skin. After more than 2 hours of cleaning, the dog finally got rid of the long-lasting pain. Every layer of tape for the dog is a fatal injury. You know that the tape stuck to the hair. The tighter it will stick with the struggle.